In the vast expanse of the universe, countless intelligent species coexisted and thrived within the galactic community. For millennia, these diverse civilizations had navigated the challenges of interstellar diplomacy, trade, and conflict. The Galactic Council, a governing body established to maintain peace and resolve disputes, played a crucial role in ensuring the stability of this cosmic society. Amidst the myriad of species that comprised the galactic community, humanity stood as a relatively new member. Having achieved faster-than-light travel only a century ago, humans had swiftly made their presence known on the galactic stage. Their rapid technological advancement and adaptability had allowed them to establish colonies on numerous worlds and forge alliances with various alien races. As humanity's influence grew, so did their reputation among the other species. Many marveled at the humans' ability to innovate and problem-solve, while others viewed their swift progress with a mix of admiration and unease. The Galactic Council, recognizing humanity's potential, granted them a seat at the table, allowing human representatives to participate in the decision-making processes that shaped the future of the galaxy. One such representative was Ambassador Yunji, a seasoned diplomat known for her sharp intellect and unwavering dedication to her people. Yunji had spent years navigating the complex web of galactic politics, forging alliances and negotiating trade agreements that benefited humanity's interests. Her keen understanding of alien cultures and her ability to find common ground had earned her the respect of many within the galactic community. As humanity continued to make strides in the sciences and technology, their military capabilities also grew. The human fleet, led by skilled strategists like Captain Jae-sung, had become a formidable force in the galaxy. Jae-sung's tactical brilliance and innovative approaches to warfare had earned him a reputation as one of the most capable military leaders in the galactic community. Meanwhile, in the realm of science, human researchers like Dr. Min Seo were pushing the boundaries of knowledge and discovery. Min Seo's groundbreaking work in the field of xenobiology had led to significant advancements in the understanding of alien physiology and had opened up new avenues for medical research and interspecies cooperation. As humanity's presence in the galaxy grew, so did the attention they received from other species. Some viewed humanity's rapid ascent with admiration, seeing them as a shining example of what a determined and adaptable species could achieve. Others, however, began to view humanity's growing influence with suspicion and concern. Among those who harbored reservations about humanity's rise were the Zorgans, a powerful and ancient species known for their military might and their desire to maintain their dominance in the galaxy. The Zorgans had long viewed themselves as the rightful leaders of the galactic community, and the idea of a young, upstart species like humanity challenging their authority was unthinkable. As tensions between humanity and the Zorgans began to simmer beneath the surface of galactic diplomacy, Ambassador Yunji, Captain Jae-sung, and Dr. Min Seo found themselves at the center of a brewing conflict that would soon engulf the entire galaxy. Little did they know that their actions in the coming days would determine not only the fate of humanity, but the future of the galactic community as a whole. As humanity continued to make strides in the galactic community, the Zorgans grew increasingly uneasy with their rapid progress. The Zorgans, a species known for their military prowess and their desire to maintain dominance, viewed humanity's swift descent as a direct threat to their power and influence. In an effort to undermine humanity's efforts and alliances, the Zorgans began engaging in a series of covert operations. They employed political maneuvering, sabotage, and disinformation campaigns to sow discord among humanity's allies and hinder their progress. The Zorgans hoped that by weakening humanity's support systems, they could slow their advance and maintain their own position of supremacy. Ambassador Yunji, with her keen political instincts, was among the first to notice the subtle shifts in the galactic landscape. She observed the growing unease among humanity's allies and the increasing frequency of unexplained setbacks in human endeavors. Determined to uncover the truth, Yunji began working tirelessly to gather intelligence and strengthen humanity's diplomatic ties. Meanwhile, Captain Jae-sung found himself dealing with a series of escalating skirmishes and proxy conflicts on the fringes of human-controlled space. The Zorgans, utilizing their vast network of allies and vassals, had begun testing humanity's military capabilities, probing for weaknesses and gathering information on their tactics and technologies. Jae-sung, ever the brilliant strategist, adapted quickly to the changing battlefield, developing new strategies and countermeasures to keep the Zorgans at bay. In the realm of science, Dr. Min Seo's research into xenobiology took on new urgency as the threat of conflict loomed on the horizon. She recognized that understanding the physiology and weaknesses of potential adversaries could prove crucial in the event of a full-scale war. Min Seo and her team worked tirelessly to unravel the secrets of Zorgan biology, hoping to find a way to level the playing field should the worst come to pass. As tensions continued to mount, the galactic community found itself divided. Some species, fearing the Zorgans' military might, began to distance themselves from humanity, unwilling to risk becoming caught in the crossfire of a potential conflict. Others, recognizing the importance of standing united against the Zorgans' aggression, rallied to humanity's side, offering their support and resources. The Galactic Council, once a bastion of peace and cooperation, became a battleground of words and ideologies. The Zorgans used their influence to push for measures that would limit humanity's growth and expansion, arguing that their unchecked progress posed a threat to the stability of the galaxy. Humanity's representatives, led by Ambassador Yunji, fought back against these efforts, asserting their right to self-determination and pointing out the hypocrisy of the Zorgans' actions. As the diplomatic wrangling intensified, the specter of war loomed ever larger on the galactic horizon. Both sides knew that a conflict between humanity and the Zorgans would have far-reaching consequences, not just for the two species involved, but for the entire galactic community. In this atmosphere of rising tension and uncertainty, Ambassador Yunji, Captain Jae-sung, and Dr. Min Seo found themselves at the forefront of humanity's efforts to navigate the treacherous waters of galactic politics and prepare for the possibility of war. They knew that the decisions they made in the coming days would shape the future of their species and the galaxy as a whole, and they were determined to do whatever it took to ensure humanity's survival and prosperity. As the tensions between humanity and the Zorgans reached a boiling point, the Zorgans decided to take a bold and aggressive step to assert their dominance over the galactic community. In a shocking move, the Zorgans issued an ultimatum to the Galactic Council, demanding that they take immediate action to limit humanity's growth and influence or face the consequences of war. The Zorgan ambassador, a tall and imposing figure, stood before the council and delivered the ultimatum in a cold and uncompromising tone. The Zorgan Empire will no longer stand idly by as humanity's unchecked expansion threatens the stability of our galaxy, he declared. We demand that the Council take immediate action to curb their growth and restrict their access to resources and technology. Failure to comply with our demands will be seen as an act of aggression against the Zorgan Empire and will be met with swift and decisive military action. The ultimatum sent shockwaves through the galactic community, with many species struggling to come to terms with the Zorgans' brazen show of force. Some, fearing the Zorgans' formidable military might, began to pressure the Council to comply with their demands, arguing that it was better to appease the Zorgans than risk a costly and devastating war. However, humanity refused to be cowed by the Zorgans' threats. Ambassador Yunji, speaking on behalf of her species, delivered a passionate and defiant response to the ultimatum. Humanity will not be bullied into submission by the Zorgans or any other species, she declared. We have worked hard to earn our place in the galactic community, and we will not allow our rights and freedoms to be stripped away by those who seek to dominate us. We stand ready to defend ourselves and our allies against any aggression, and we will not hesitate to use all means necessary to protect our way of life. The Council, faced with the impossible task of finding a compromise between the two unyielding positions, found itself divided. Some members, swayed by the Zorgans' show of force, argued that it was in the best interest of the galactic community to appease the Zorgans and avoid a costly war. Others, inspired by humanity's defiance and commitment to self-determination, rallied to their side, pledging their support and resources in the face of Zorgan aggression. As the debate raged on, it became clear that the galactic community was on the brink of a catastrophic conflict. The Zorgans, emboldened by the support of their allies and the hesitation of some council members, began to mobilize their forces, preparing for a massive offensive against humanity and its supporters. Humanity, for its part, refused to back down. Captain Jae-sung, anticipating the impending conflict, worked tirelessly to bolster humanity's defenses and coordinate with allied species to develop a unified strategy to counter the Zorgan threat. Dr. Min Seo and her team redoubled their efforts to uncover any weaknesses in Zorgan physiology that could be exploited in the event of war. As the galaxy held its breath, waiting for the inevitable clash between humanity and the Zorgans, one thing became abundantly clear. The outcome of this conflict would determine not only the fate of humanity but the future of the entire galactic community. The stakes had never been higher, and the price of failure was too great to contemplate. The fragile peace that had held the galactic community together for so long shattered in an instant as the Zorgans launched a surprise attack on a human colony. The assault, which came without warning or provocation, marked the beginning of a war that would engulf the entire galaxy in flames. The human colony, caught off guard by the sudden onslaught, fought bravely against the invading Zorgan forces. However, the sheer might and numbers of the Zorgan military quickly overwhelmed the colony's defenses, leaving a trail of destruction and death in their wake. News of the attack spread like wildfire across the galactic community, sparking outrage and horror among humanity's allies. The Galactic Council, which had been paralyzed by indecision in the face of the Zorgan ultimatum, now found itself forced to take action. The Council condemned the Zorgan aggression and pledged its support to humanity in the coming conflict. Humanity, reeling from the loss of the colony but determined to fight back, rallied its forces and prepared for war. Captain Jae-sung, now elevated to the rank of admiral, took command of the human fleet and launched a series of daring counterattacks against key Zorgan installations and supply lines. The human fleet, equipped with advanced military technologies that had been developed in secret, caught the Zorgans off guard. The Zorgans, who had long relied on their superior numbers and brute force to win battles, found themselves outmatched by humanity's innovative tactics and cutting-edge weaponry. As the war raged on, Dr. Min Seo and her team worked tirelessly to develop new technologies and countermeasures to combat the Zorgan threat. Their research into Zorgan physiology had yielded promising results, and they now focused their efforts on creating targeted bioweapons that could exploit the Zorgans' weaknesses. Meanwhile, Ambassador Yunji worked to maintain humanity's alliances and gather intelligence on Zorgan strategies. She traveled from system to system, meeting with allied leaders and diplomats, sharing information and coordinating efforts to counter the Zorgan offensive. The war, however, was far from one-sided. The Zorgans, enraged by humanity's defiance and the setbacks they had suffered, redoubled their efforts to crush the human resistance. They unleashed a wave of terror across the galaxy, targeting civilian populations and using banned weapons in an attempt to break humanity's will to fight. The galactic community watched in horror as the conflict escalated, with both sides suffering heavy losses and entire worlds being reduced to rubble. The cost of the war, both in terms of lives lost and resources expended, was staggering, and many began to fear that the conflict would consume the entire galaxy. As the war entered its second year, humanity's hopes for victory began to fade. The Zorgans, despite their losses, seemed to have an endless supply of ships and soldiers, while humanity's resources were rapidly dwindling. The human fleet, battered and bruised, fought on bravely, but it seemed only a matter of time before they were overwhelmed by the Zorgan onslaught. It was in this darkest hour that Dr. Min Seo and her team made a breakthrough that would change the course of the war. They had discovered a critical weakness in the Zorgan's physiology, one that could be exploited by a targeted bioweapon. The weapon, if deployed successfully, could cripple the Zorgan war machine and give humanity a fighting chance at victory. The stakes had never been higher, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. As Admiral J. Sung prepared to lead a daring mission to deliver the bioweapon to the Zorgan homeworld, humanity held its breath, knowing that the outcome of this battle would determine the future of their species and the entire galactic community. As the galactic war between humanity and the Zorgans raged on, humanity began to turn the tide in their favor through superior tactics and innovative technologies. Admiral J. Sung led a series of well-coordinated attacks that struck critical blows to key Zorgan military installations and supply lines. These strategic victories disrupted the Zorgans' ability to wage war effectively and gave humanity some much-needed momentum. Meanwhile, the advanced weaponry and defenses developed by human scientists and engineers provided a technological edge on the battlefield. Human ships were equipped with more powerful and precise armaments, as well as shielding that could better withstand the brute force of Zorgan assaults. This technological superiority helped to even the odds against the numerically advantaged Zorgan forces. Zorgans resort to desperate measures. Faced with the increasing success of humanity's military campaign, the Zorgans turned to desperate and unethical measures in an attempt to regain the upper hand. They began targeting human civilian populations, aiming to demoralize humanity and force them into submission through terror and attrition. The Zorgans also employed the use of banned weapons, including those that caused indiscriminate destruction and horrific casualties. These actions were widely condemned by the galactic community and only served to strengthen the resolve of humanity and its allies. The Galactic Council issued stern rebukes against the Zorgans and imposed harsh sanctions to pressure them to cease their unethical conduct. However, the Zorgans, driven by their desperation and wounded pride, only escalated their brutal tactics in response. A game-changing discovery. Amidst the chaos and destruction of the war, Dr. Min Seo and her research team made a groundbreaking discovery that would prove to be a turning point in the conflict. Through their tireless work and scientific expertise, they identified a critical vulnerability in Zorgan physiology that could be exploited by a specifically engineered bioweapon. This weakness was rooted in a unique aspect of Zorgan biology that had previously been unknown. By targeting this vulnerability with a tailored biological agent, humanity could potentially neutralize the Zorgan military advantage and cripple their ability to continue waging war. It was a risky and controversial proposition, but one that could save countless lives and bring a swift end to the conflict. Preparing for the final push. With this game-changing discovery in hand, Admiral J. Sung began planning a daring offensive to deliver the bioweapon to the heart of the Zorgan war machine. The mission would require a small elite team to infiltrate deep into enemy territory and release the agent at a critical target. The risks were immense, but the potential payoff was the very survival and future of humanity. As the preparations for this final, decisive strike got underway, Ambassador Yunji worked tirelessly to shore up support from humanity's allies and coordinate the diplomatic pressure on the Zorgans. The goal was to isolate the Zorgans politically and economically, making it more difficult for them to continue their aggression and increasing the likelihood of a negotiated peace settlement. The stage was now set for a climactic showdown that would determine the fate of not only humanity, but the entire galactic order. The hopes and fears of billions rested on the outcome of this audacious gambit. Would humanity's ingenuity and determination prove enough to overcome the might of the Zorgan war machine? The answer would soon be written in the stars. As humanity prepared for its decisive strike against the Zorgan homeworld, the Zorgans launched a desperate, all-out assault on Earth, the heart of human civilization. The Zorgan fleet, vastly outnumbering the human defenses, aimed to crush humanity's will to fight by striking at its most precious and symbolic world. The attack came suddenly and with overwhelming force. Zorgan ships darkened the skies over Earth's major cities, raining down destruction and death upon the planet's inhabitants. The human fleet, spread thin across the galaxy, rushed back to defend their homeworld, but the odds seemed insurmountable. Humanity's allies rally to their defense. In this darkest hour, humanity's allies proved their mettle and their loyalty. Races from across the galaxy, many of whom had benefited from humanity's friendship and support, rallied to Earth's defense. A massive fleet, assembled from dozens of allied species, arrived to bolster the beleaguered human forces. The ensuing space battle was of a scale and ferocity never before seen in the galaxy's history. Ships from a myriad of races, united in their determination to stand with humanity, clashed with the Zorgan Armada in a titanic struggle for survival. The Allied fleet fought with tenacity and courage, knowing that the fate of not just humanity, but the entire free galaxy hung in the balance. The desperate ground battle. On the surface of Earth, the situation was no less dire. Zorgan ground forces, having landed in the chaos of the orbital battle, engaged the human defenders in brutal, street-by-street combat. Leading the defense was Admiral Jae-sung, who had taken personal command of the ground forces in a last stand to protect his homeworld. Against the superior numbers and firepower of the Zorgans, Jae-sung's forces fought with skill, courage, and determination. They used their knowledge of the terrain and their innovative tactics to inflict heavy casualties on the invaders, but the sheer scale of the Zorgan assault began to take its toll. A race against time. As the battle raged on Earth, Dr. Min Seo and her team were in a desperate race against time. The Zorgans, in a final act of cruelty, had unleashed a devastating bioplague upon Earth's population. The plague, engineered from Zorgan science, spread rapidly, threatening to wipe out humanity even as they fought for their survival. In her lab, working under extreme pressure and with dwindling resources, Dr. Min Seo sought to unravel the secrets of the Zorgan plague and develop a cure. It was a task that seemed impossible, but she and her team refused to give in to despair. They worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of their knowledge and endurance, knowing that failure would mean the end of everything they held dear. Diplomacy in the midst of chaos. Even as the battle raged and the plague spread, Ambassador Yunji refused to give up on the power of diplomacy. From a secure location, she continued to reach out to humanity's allies, urging them to send more aid and to pressure the Zorgans to halt their assault. She also opened a channel to the Galactic Council, pleading for their intervention. She argued that the Zorgans' actions threatened not just humanity, but the stability and security of the entire galaxy. She called on the Council to live up to its ideals and take a stand against the Zorgan aggression. The final outcome remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity and its allies were fighting not just for their own survival, but for the soul of the galaxy itself. In this ultimate test of will and determination, they would either triumph together or fall as one, their fate forever sealed in the annals of galactic history. In the end, through a combination of tenacity, innovation, and the unyielding support of their allies, humanity emerged victorious from their conflict with the Zorgans. The decisive blow came with the successful deployment of the targeted bioweapon, which crippled the Zorgan war machine and neutralized their ability to continue their aggression. On Earth, Admiral Jae-sung's valiant stand against the Zorgan ground forces bought Dr. Min Seo and her team the precious time they needed to develop a cure for the bioplague. The cure, distributed rapidly with the help of humanity's allies, saved countless lives and prevented the Zorgans from claiming victory through biological warfare. In space, the combined might of the human and allied fleets finally broke the back of the Zorgan Armada. The Zorgan ships, their crews demoralized and their supplies dwindling, began to retreat, leaving Earth's orbit and abandoning their dreams of conquest. A new era for the galaxy. The aftermath of the war saw a profound shift in the galactic balance of power. The Galactic Council, recognizing the crucial role that humanity had played in defeating the Zorgans and preserving the freedom of the galaxy, granted humanity a permanent seat on the Council and a leading role in shaping the future of interstellar relations. Ambassador Yunji, whose tireless diplomatic efforts had been instrumental in rallying humanity's allies and isolating the Zorgans, was appointed as humanity's representative on the Council. Under her guidance, the Council began to work towards a new era of cooperation, one in which the rights and sovereignty of all species would be respected and protected. #Heroes of the conflict. The individuals who had played key roles in humanity's victory were hailed as heroes across the galaxy. Admiral Jae-sung's tactical brilliance and courageous leadership became legendary, and his strategies were studied in military academies on 100 worlds. The Admiral, however, ever humble, insisted that the true credit belonged to the brave men and women who had fought and sacrificed under his command. Dr. Min Seo's groundbreaking scientific work, which had proved decisive in the war, ushered in a new age of biological and medical research. Her discoveries formed the basis for unprecedented advancements in the understanding and treatment of diseases, benefiting countless beings across the galaxy. Dr. Min Seo used her newfound influence to promote greater collaboration and sharing of knowledge between species. #A message to the galaxy. Perhaps the most significant outcome of the war was the message it sent to the rest of the galaxy. The defeat of the Zorgans, who had been one of the most powerful and feared races in known space, served as a clear demonstration of humanity's strength, resilience, and determination. It became clear that humanity, when pushed to the brink, was capable of feats that few would have thought possible. The galaxy understood that humanity would not be cowed or conquered, and that any attempt to do so would be met with a response of overwhelming force and unyielding resolve. In the years that followed, as humanity took its place as a leader on the galactic stage, the lesson of the Zorgan War remained clear. No species would challenge humanity again, having witnessed the full extent of their wrath and the depths of their courage. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, and it would defend that place with all the strength and determination that had carried it to victory against its greatest foe.